Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I want to take this video in a different direction than previous videos. Daily Dose was really fun and I really liked it. It challenged me. It it put me through the ringer as far as looking up content and news and things of that nature. The story times were really fun, but I want to talk about how I got to Daily Dose, where I meant to go originally, and how I'm jumping on that path now. So, originally, I wanted to talk about how I truly felt, like with depression and anxiety and, things of that nature. And how I transitioned into Daily Dose is I felt like people didn't want to hear those conversations. They didn't want to hear what would be perceived as negativity. They didn't want to hear, they wanted to hear fun stuff. They wanted to hear things that make them laugh. People are more drawn to the happy stuff than sad stuff traditionally. And that's how I got to Daily Dose. And it was very fun. It was fun. I appreciate all the positive feedback, the constructive criticism. I feel like it made me a better content creator. It actually has paved the way for the confidence in this video to talk. So I will forever be grateful for doing Daily Dose. But I want to do what I originally wanted to do and talk about my depression and mental health and things of that nature. And I feel like it's a conversation that not a lot of specifically men have. I feel like women are more open to talking. Men, I guess it's society has made it a little bit more frowned upon, I want to say, to talk. And in recent years, I feel like men's mental health has been more accepted than it was previously. Especially previous generations. I can't imagine anybody talking about how they felt in the 1960s or 1940s. So, it's a lot more accepted now, and I'm hoping that maybe me talking about it can help others open up. I'm a very big advocate for therapy and, anything that'll help your mental health, because if your mental health fails, everything else is going behind it. I don't care how healthy you are. I don't care how good of a path you're on. If you're not mentally healthy, then all else will fail. So, I wanted to talk about depression, specifically my depression in the military, depression outside of the military. I've had a very different life, and not a lot of people know at all about my life and the things I've went through and how I got to where I am now, and the challenges, trials, and tribulations I faced, growing up and trying to grow up and be normal, or as normal as society would allow. They say chaos to the fly is normal to the spider. So, normal subjective. But I really wanted to talk about I guess a lot of the different levels and symptoms of depression, especially ones that I've faced. So I think the first one would be feeling guilty or sadness, empty or hopelessness. And that is I would say a big part of depression. And that is traditionally what a lot of people think about when they think about depression. I feel like feeling ungrateful for your life, even if it's going good, that definitely ties into the guiltiness. I went through that a lot, and I guess it's been a while, but more recently I'm going through that. It's just my life, there's nothing to complain about, I would say, but it just hits you. And I won't go into detail. I'll trying to be vague about it. Unproductivity. That is a big one. It's like, I would say procrastination becomes your best friend in depression. It just, there's nothing that you really feel like doing right then. You know, you want to wash the dishes, you wash them later. You want to, mow the grass, you mow it later, you mow it tomorrow. Procrastination becomes like head first for you. I think you go through a lot of physical health issues. Have a lot more headaches. You're like physically tired a lot more. You have digestive issues. TMI, but I remember like I wouldn't poop for like a week straight. It was rough. And depression really can physically beat you down. Waking up in the morning was very difficult. It was really hard to muster the strength to even imagine completing the day. Like, I guess you just dread each day almost. And I feel like there was no upside to it. There was no looking up. There was no, oh, tomorrow will be better. You're really blinded by, like the inevitability that each day is going to suck. You just feel so sluggish and defeated. It's just, I guess each day almost feels like a chore to go through it. Let's see, you go through insomnia. I feel like that also ties into making your mornings difficult. There were times that I would wake up for work at, I think I woke up like 5:30 or 6. No, yeah, it was roughly 5:30 to 6. And I had to be in formation at 6:45. I would go through the entire day, like doing Marine Corps stuff, get off work, go home, do regular stuff. I was very much stuck to the video game, like especially through my depression. And I would still stay up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and finally fall asleep. Have the alarm hits at like 5:36, and I'm right back at it again. And it was so exhausting and draining. I think that ties into physical fatigue because that your body's not resting. You're constantly going. Your mind is not resting, and like that's a real killer. You get really good at hiding it. You tend to very much carry a smile, and you highly comical, jokester to the end. Like, always have a joke, always, just cutting up and hiding that inside. You're masking it, and you're leading people away from how you really feel. You don't want people to discover that you're really sad. So it's like, you put on this facade that you're always happy, you're always laughing, you're always joking, and it's, there's nothing for anyone to question. You typically ask how everyone's day is doing to maintain a level of connection, yet avoiding conversation about yourself. So, I always called it controlling the conversation. It's like, I'll ask you how you doing, how's your dog doing, how's your mom, and carry that conversation on about you. And by the time it's turning over to come to me, I'm ready to exit the conversation or bring up a new topic about you. So I was very much like deflecting conversations about myself. And yeah. Let's see. You typically look flaky, or seem flaky rather. It's changing, canceling plans the closer they get to the time to execute the plans. I went through this a lot, and I I feel like I've done a really good job at overcoming it for the most part. But it's just, I guess, you develop a small level of social anxiety, like to a degree. And, or it's just, you just think about, you'd rather just be home in your own space, or, doing what you want to do. You don't physically, mentally have the energy to deal with other people, to associate, to socialize. You can't get yourself there. You dodge physical interactions and sometimes cyber interactions like texting, social media. Friends want to hang out, even if it's a small thing. You just, like I said, you can't muster the strength to even fathom interacting with someone. It becomes hard to have fun, if you do make it out to these social gatherings or interactions. I feel like your mind is just going. Your mind is on guard. You're pretty much like, you can be always ready to leave. You judge others for their level of fun and happiness. You can't quite gather why they're so happy. What's the point of this? And it just, I guess, further makes you not want to interact later on, which boosts the flakiness aspect. It's crazy how it all ties together. You have a tendency to keep the idea that nothing is ever wrong. You don't accept ideas that talking about it can help. You internalize a lot of things. You're in denial about how you truly feel. It's a self-destructive game, and it's just really hard to break out of and retrain your thinking. Accepting help is so foreign when you're so deep in it. Your brain and emotions can be at different ends, or at split hairs, I guess. What you think about and what you feel aren't adding up. It just, they're at two opposite ends of the spectrum, honestly. You feel like you need help, yet thinking about how it can be a burden, and ultimately discrediting your own cries for help. That goes back to, wanting help, but you I don't even know how to begin to explain this one. There's been so many times that I feel like internally I'm crying out for help, yet I can't bring it to the surface. So I just carry on. I don't want to be a burden to anyone. I'd, rather deal with it myself than, other people helping me. And it's also exhausting. All of these things exhaust. They're exhausting. They, especially if you bundle all these together and put them into a person, it just, it's a recipe for destruction. It's bad. It sucks. It hurts. And, I've dealt with this for a very long time. I continue to deal with it. I've gotten a lot better. Like I said, therapy helps. Medication helps. A lot of people aren't big into medication, but it all helps, and I want more people to not be afraid to reach out. This is just like an introduction, and I guess I'll do follow-on videos to go more in depth on everything, but like I said, this is just touching the surface. This is where I wanted to go instead of doing Daily Dose. Like I said, Daily Dose is really fun, but I'm hoping that by talking about the quote-unquote negative things, it has a positive chain reaction to people that I may know or never have met in my life. YouTube has a way of connecting people, so I'm hoping that I produce that effect. All right, everybody. this has been my little bit of time, and appreciate you all listening. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, do whatever people do, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.